Yeah.
There we go.
Hey, yo.
Hello.
Wait. That's Greg.
And that is Jeff. Oh, other way around. That is Jeff. And we are the 40/40 men. And that was a
Yep.
5
Kind of
that I
want to
held
do
up.
one of these days. I'm going to do a tribute to Macau, and I'm going to put my shades in and go. This is Greg Howard, because he always goes John Shannon. I do watch his podcast. It's rather entertaining.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he's the usual Bobcat. I love Bobcat.
I used to watch.
Like Bobcat are dumb.
I used to watch him on Sportsnet when he was on, or was it Global? Yeah.
Well, when he first came on, that was he did Sportsline with Hebser.
Yeah.
And I don't think he did it with Taddy. I think Taddy replaced.
No, Taddy was his own. Yeah, Taddy joined on after. That wasn't Bob McCallum.
And I don't even know where Taddy is now. I still get stuff from Hebster because I used to work with Hebsy a long time ago. So we, every once in a while, I'll get a little thing from him. He's one of those people I wouldn't mind getting on the podcast actually because Hebsy's hilarious.
Yeah.
And then he can tell the story about the fist fight he had in the newsroom. Almost fist fight. It was like my third day working at the Score. I'm in the newsroom, and him and one of the other reporters like, "Oh yeah!" It was brilliant.
Well, folks, this is crack number 2 today because we've had a little bit of technical difficulties on the first thing. So if we are
don't buy cheap microphone cables.
We are live to tape, but if you hear this music pop up again, that'll mean that we are in a little technical difficulty spot. So it's all right, though. Yep. We're good right now.
We're still working on stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So last week was a little crazy, and since we start on Sundays, let's talk about Sunday when we took our third of 4 games against the Omaha Royals.
Yes.
I mean Kansas City Royals. The fact they won a game really kind of bothered me, but I mean, anybody can win on any given night. I mean, Gosman gave up 3 runs. What do you expect them to do? Like, just for some reason.
There we go.
They were pitching. Am I out again?
Nope, you're good now. It popped back in. I was hoping that you would have to do the Michael Jackson sing again, but you're back now. You're good. Yeah. We got a little bit out of that one with the Omaha Royals, but it's fine.
I don't know what's going on, man. Nothing's moving around here.
We're good. But yeah, I mean,
we beat Omaha. That was great. We had a whole bunch of players from the Kansas City get like their first hit, first home run, first strikeout.
Oh yeah,
because they had 10 guys
on
out. The restricted. 10.
Yeah, and
no, restricted. And I don't call them out. I call them dumb. Yeah, or whatever.
Yeah. So that happened.
So.
And we should have taken. It should have been the reverse. Like, I mean, you're not going to take all 4, but we should have taken 3. That's the crap part about it.
Yeah, well, we did. At least we took 3. We lost the first one, took the next 3. That's all right. And then Monday you had the home run derby won by the man of the week, Juan Soto. And just going on that a little bit. If the Nationals think people are going to give up what the Nationals want them to give up, the Nationals are crazy.
Yeah.
Because they have stated this is what they want. They want 5 players, either top-notch minor leaguers or major league players with a lot of service time already. And they will not take anything but that.
Mm-hmm.
There's no negotiation. It's like, whoever gives us the best package of what we want, we'll get them.
Because you're literally taking the only player that that the Nationals have left right now, and that's it. Yeah, but it's like, that's the thing. It's like the Nationals are surprisingly a terrible team from only being 3 years away from winning a World Series. 3 years. Yeah.
I mean, and the other thing is you could probably lessen the hit if you take the Patrick Corbin contract on, which is in its first year of ridiculous amounts of money.
Yeah.
I've seen, this goes again to our Pissy Jays fan segments usually, but the amount of people that think we should trade for Juan Soto is retarded. I mean, stupid. It's ridiculous. Like, they don't seem to understand. Like, you can't give up Bo and Lourdes and Martinez and Moreno.
No.
This was actually a trade somebody wanted to make. They said they're going to have to give them Elvis Martinez, Gabriel Moreno, Ricky Tiedemann, um, Lourdes Gurriel, Bo, and Kevin Biggio.
Holy crap! So here's
So you have
essentially
no shortstop and no depth.
and no depth, and then a pitcher that's actually doing well in the minors because we don't have any of those right now.
And if you give up all that, how are you going to get pitching to help going forward?
Yeah.
You got no one anybody wants. I don't know. Are you having audio? Just let me check. Are you having problems again? Because I'm getting buzzing.
No, it's popping out a tiny bit, but it's perfectly legible, and it's not as bad as it was though. So we're good.
Okay, good.
Yeah, because I feel you need to rant today. That's a good thing. So.
I'll rant about the one guy, but that will put it in the Jays fan section, which we always do.
That'll happen. That'll happen at a point. Yeah.
Yeah. So then you've got your Tuesday, which is Manoah kicking some butt and
beating someone in an All-Star game. I love that.
Well, no, okay. Now, when I watched the Sportsnet feed, it was the international feed.
Okay.
Right? So you couldn't hear him talking with John Smoltz.
Yeah.
About
what pitch he wanted. Yeah.
Yeah. That wasn't in the international feed. Mm-hmm. So here's my recommendation, MLB. Stop with that. If you're going to have a guy talking to a guy in the booth, don't have another booth.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need, I don't know why you need an international. It doesn't make any sense. And
like, I would get it. I would get it if you're beaming over to Japan. You have like a Japanese language one. Yeah, sure, fine. But no, you're not.
It was Dan Plesac and some dude I'd never heard of before.
Yeah.
Like, I like Plesac. I think he's a great analyst. I don't know who the guy was he was talking with, but he looked like an accountant who just happened to get a baseball job, but whatever. So Manoah was fine. I mean, American League One, great. I think Manoah really, he put himself on the next level in a national stage.
Yeah.
Because he's just a naturally charismatic dude. But, as we'll get into when we discuss his start in Boston, there is a little bit more to yap about that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the All-Star game was the worst viewed All-Star game ever. 10% lower than last year, which was the worst one.
But that's the thing. It's like the All-Star game now, it's I mean, I actually didn't mind it when a lot of people had a problem, because they were playing for, home field advantage during the World Series. But I actually thought that was cool because you actually gave the players something that was far enough in advance. Some of the teams, like, guys from Pittsburgh are never going to really bother about playing in the World Series, right? But I mean, it gave a lot of the players something to actually compete for, as opposed to just, here you go, let's do this.
And there were some nice things that happened. You heard about what Edwin Diaz did?
No.
Did you hear what he did?
No.
Yeah. Edwin Diaz was scheduled to pitch the ninth inning for the National League. Him and David Bednar were the only guys left. Bednar was at his first All-Star game, and Edwin Diaz went to Brian Snitker and said, "I've done this before." He was the guy who's never done it before. Yeah, and that's cool. How Bednar got in the game, because Edwin Diaz is like, he's never done it. Guess who the only player in the American League was that didn't get to play?
Who?
Jordan Romano.
Yeah.
He was the only player in the American League that didn't make it into the game. Like, I don't know why they were, like, you couldn't be prepping him for like extra innings because they changed it.
Yeah.
Right? It was supposed to be a home run derby to determine the winner, which is kind of weird. But I mean, I guess they're trying different stuff, so that's cool, I guess.
They the crazy thing is I mean, I don't know if you remember, there was a little while ago, there was a span of a few years where basketball stopped the dunk contest. That's literally oh yeah, that's literally the only thing that people really want to see in that. And then it came back the year Vince Carter won it, like, with the dunk thing. And it was that little sort of, bring back what everyone wanted to see. So, starting the home run derby, that was a definite like winner for the fans because awesome, you get to see like dudes hit meatballs and as far as possible and as many as possible. And
Yeah.
but that's really all you can kind of do for the baseball all-star game, unless you have like a let's see who can you know go 100 from a pitching standpoint. That's really it. Like,
Well, one person said, I think one thing that lost the allure of the game, and the guy made a good point. An actual Jays fan with a good point. He said that it was. How did he put it? It's like, oh man, I lost my train of thought. Damn narcolepsy again, man. No, that wasn't it.
Don't make me put the cat up. I'm gonna put the cat up now while you're doing this.
No, but he's like, it just seemed to mean more to people at one point. Like he said, if they just oh yeah. No, they just like it isn't about making it worth something. It's about the players actually taking it. Oh, that's what he said. Once interleague play came into effect, it kind of ruined the mystique.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I think interleague play in general, it's just done. I don't think we need it anymore. I know why they did it.
I like it because like you still get to see teams that you don't see on a regular basis, right? But I mean, I don't. But the way it stands right now, because you've got 3 divisions each with 5, so that means 15. So that means at one point in time, at any point in time, there always has to be at least an interleague game, just so that because in baseball, everyone plays pretty much every day, right? So
they're going to add one more team to each league. I mean, that's an inevitability.
Yeah.
Once they figure out Tampa and Oakland, which they keep saying they're going to do. Apparently, Oakland has some big proposal for their waterland, so we'll see. Tampa doesn't. I don't know why Tampa's still there. I don't know why they just don't move to Montreal and just be done with it.
Be done with it, yeah.
But you know what? Moving to Montreal, from what I've seen in some of these baseball groups, will piss off the Americans like you wouldn't believe. Montreal doesn't deserve it. They just drove their own team out of town, which is absolutely not what happened. No. But whatever.
This is the thing. It's like saying some teams don't deserve it. Well, really, do you think Tampa deserves it? Because no, like they gave away 10,000 free tickets a few years ago. Like what was it, 2015? 2015. No, sorry. The 2 years previous, just before the Jays went on a run, and that's still when they had Price. They still had they had everyone, and they were giving away 10,000 tickets to playoff games free. Like, no, come on.
You can't have a commuter city as a main city, and you just can't. I mean, it's a snowbird city. That's what it is.
It's something that you have to have. You have to have like people that are like, it's not a dedication, but I mean, baseball season is a dedication because it's not just like, it's not 8 home games like in football. It's not say like 40 like in a basketball or hockey. It's 81. There's a lot. There's a lot, and it's pretty much every day.
And that's what turns a lot of people into pissy Jays fans because they don't understand a 162 game season. But anyway, So then there's a few days off. So before we get into the second part of the season, how much time do we have before our first commercial?
You know what? We could actually pop it on now. What do we figure? We figure you want to go or you want me to go? I can do the Canadian way.
I'll do the first one, 365.
All right, cool. Give me 1 second. Bing, bing.
Now, there are a lot of you out there who are watching the 40/40 Men on YouTube, listening to us on Spotify, iHearts, all that stuff. But if you want to hear us for the very first time, there is only one place you can go to hear us, 5 p.m. on Sundays, and that's 365sportscast.com. This is a wonderful sportscasting website that covers an array of different sports: football, basketball, hockey, soccer, you name it. And they have even things like Stratomatic Baseball, which actually is their number one program on the actual channel. So if you want to try and find a different people speaking their knowledge, and these posts all have knowledge that I would tune into 365sportscast.com. Pick out your favorite people, which would be us.
Woohoo! There it is.
All right, so what we can get to now is, before we start our second half stuff, we got to talk about first half stuff, and we have our choice picks for Cy Young, MVP. Let's start with the American League MVP. Who is your AL MVP?
Well, that one I think is pretty easy. You got Aaron Judge. Like it could be Shohei Ohtani, but I have a feeling it's going to be Aaron Judge. I mean, the guy's on pace for 70 homers right now. Like his batting average is 292. It's close to 300. But I mean, and he's at 79 RBI. So that I'm going to put him at the end by having 150 RBIs. We'll say 70 homers and close to a 300. And then the Yankees are obviously going to win the division. And baseball has this nasty little thing about, your team has to at least make the playoffs or make at least a run for the playoffs to be the MVP.
I mean, like when Andre Dawson went at 87 for the Cubs, it was an outlier then too.
Yeah.
It makes, like, if you're going to be an MVP, it just goes down to what you consider an MVP. Like, honestly, I think they should have an MVP and an MOP.
Yeah, most like the best player for the league and the most valuable to the team. Yeah,
exactly. But I agree. It'll be Aaron Judge. He's actually had 8 multi-homer games this season, which topped the Yankee record.
Yeah,
and he's still gonna have a season to go. So it's Aaron Judge unless he gets hurt.
Yeah, and that's possible.
Any one of those guys, any one of those guys in that Yankee team can get hurt. They just got a bunch of old dudes there.
Yeah. Well, he's still young. He's still young. He's got his limberness to him.
No, 30.
No, but compared to the Yankees, though, he's
young in the Yankee terms, I guess, but he's still old.
And also compared to us, because we're old. Yeah.
That's.
Yeah.
What about your Cy Young for the Americans?
Cy Young? Okay, so here's bear with me on this one. I have a feeling it's going to be Shohei Ohtani because he's kind of awesome all around, and they gave him the MVP last year, and they still kind of want to do it for his bat this year. But he's definitely a good enough pitcher. Don't get me wrong. Like the guy's got a 2.80 ERA, 134 strikeouts. He's 9-5 right now, so I mean he could push 20 wins. He's got a below 1 WHIP. So, like, he's worthy, but I also think they'll give him the extra nod because of the fact that he's a double threat player. And, for a while, he's always going to be in contention for one or the other because he can do both. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I absolutely don't agree with you.
That's the best part. That's the best part.
But here's the thing, though. Like, I'm going through right now ERA. ERA leaders, just as a given stat. Shohei has not pitched enough to qualify for an ERA title.
That's crazy.
He hasn't pitched enough innings.
That's crazy.
He hasn't. Like
he's at 9. I think he's at 91 innings or something like that, right? Like
something like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, Kevin Gausman's got 99. He's on the list. Like, what is his ERA right now?
Gausman's?
What is the ERA for?
For Shohei? 280.
Okay, 280 would place him right now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It would place him 8th.
Yeah.
In ERA. He's having a great season. Don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. And if he continues it, he maybe has a chance. But right now, to me, it's all about Shane McClanahan. Maybe the best pitcher in baseball right now. His whip is .8.
Yeah.
Okay. He's throwing 110 innings with his top 10 already. He's got 10 wins. Verlander's got 13, which is astounding.
Because he'd missed so many games at the start as well.
Yeah. But his ERA is 1.71. He's only 19 walks against 147 strikeouts.
That's crazy.
Just to give you an idea, now Verlander's a strikeout machine, 21 walks with 117 strikeouts.
Yeah. That's insane.
So, and then you got Dylan Cease, 150 strikeouts, 48 walks. It's crazy. The only guy comparable in terms of walks is Kevin Gausman. He's got 18 all year.
Yeah.
But his strikeouts are only 116. Shane McClanahan is just killing it.
I just think and he's like I definitely agree with that, but I have a feeling that they're gonna Russell Crowe Shohei Ohtani because like Russell Crowe should have won the Oscars,
I don't think they
three
will
times
because
prior, yeah, to winning it for
I don't think
Gladiator.
so because the Angels have been sucking balls.
Oh, they're
There's no
terrible.
way. I don't think they
They've
give it to him just for that reason
they've
alone.
got two players. They've got two players, him and Trout, and that's it. And you've got two, and that's what I don't understand is you've got two guys that are definitely going to be Hall of Fame players that are outstanding, like better than anyone else possibly in this thing, and they still suck.
There is talk that they are going to consider trading Otani right now.
What? Whoa. Okay, that's crazy.
Because his value's never been higher.
Yeah.
They're not going anywhere. Like I wouldn't be surprised if they're entertaining offers for anybody at this point because they should be.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't just say no. They should be entertaining offers. But for me, it's McClanahan.
Mm-hmm.
So then we'll go to the other side. Who is the least valuable player in the American League?
Well, I could say Yusei Kikuchi at this point, but he's definitely up there. But I do like your opinion. I'll zim it over to you. There you
go. Joey Gallo.
Joey
Gallo has got to be the worst hitter I have ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, it's astounding how bad he is. Like, and he's still, and they're like, oh, he can play. He's got the whole, the outfield. He's great defensively. He's not enough great defensively to make up for the crappy bat that he's got.
Yeah, he is.
Like, he is absolutely terrible.
And that was supposed to be like a big acquisition for them. I like your opinion of Bradley Zimmer. For the Jays specifically, and he's kind of up there.
Freaking useless.
That's at 22-25. I got to remember to bloop that one out.
Okay, so I'm looking at a Joey Gallo page right now.
Oh, okay. That's got to have a bunch of likes.
160. He's got a 164 average.
Okay.
12 home runs.
So he's on the interstate.
RBIs.
Awesome.
An OPS of 642, and he's got 2 stolen bases.
No, I mean, he's got 2 stolen bases.
He's the opposite of me. He bats left and throws right. I bat right, throw left. He's also 6'5", 230 pounds. He's just terrible.
So you know how you've always said the Jays are looking for a left-handed bat?
Yeah.
Not that one. That's literally just to throw another look at the pitcher, just so they can possibly strike him out or hit him.
His career stats aren't horrible. Like he's got an 804 OPS for his career, but his on-base percentage is 291. His slugging is 351. If you're 6'5", 230, and you're known for hitting home runs, your slugging should not be 351. Like, that's just, oh. So I like the projections, though. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Really? That can't be right. Okay, they projected him originally for 39 home runs, 86 RBIs, and 117 walks. That was his projection going into the season. It could happen. Sorry there, Joey.
I've got another guy for you here to throw out. And it was a big acquisition for them coming from the Yankees, but going over to Minnesota. Gary Sanchez. Because remember how awesome Gary Sanchez was in New York? Gary Sanchez right now is 10 homers, which, okay, cool. 214 average. But, like, he's terrible right now. Like, he's literally there as a DH, and he's not DHing. So, like,
that's why they got rid of Gary Sanchez in the first place. He can't catch like he's supposed to. He can't hit.
Yeah. Well, he had 3 years of like 40 homers. So you're like, oh, okay, then you're fine. We can accept all the pass balls that are going by at this point in time with being made up with home runs, but it's not happening. No. So that's I don't know if it's the least valuable. I think it's the least valuable.
Well, that's what I call the
trade. Yeah.
That's what I call it. Yeah. Well, he's not
or signing. I should say. Yeah.
And then, we go to what I call the Cy Young Award. I didn't make that up. That was stolen from somebody else. I'm pretty sure probably Ken Rosenthal
Who's that?
more
And
likely.
you cut out a second there. Sorry, what was that?
I was saying the Cy Yuck Award usually can go to
Oh, the
somebody.
Cy Yuck. The Cy Yuck. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Ken Rosenthal came up with that one, either him or Keith Law, one or the other. But I didn't include him as the Blue Jays Cy Yuck,
Yeah.
but I do include him as the American League as Jose Rios. He has the worst ERA
Yeah.
by 3/4 of a run than the next guy. Now, don't get me wrong. His last 4 starts have been great.
I'm gonna translate for those of you that aren't hearing. He said Jose Barrios, by the way, Jose Barrios. But yes,
Barrios.
Barrios.
Am I having trouble with my audio again?
Yeah, it's all right though. We'll figure something out.
So yeah, Barrios. That's my Cy Yuck. I mean, there's a lot of yuck out there, but this one was pretty easy.
Yeah.
For me. I mean, you could say Kikuchi, but I don't consider him because he's in the minors right now. So that's Joe's Barrios.
And because Barrios is literally, he'll have 3 games where you're like, okay, he's figured it out, and then he'll have 2 games where like, no, he hasn't, and then 3 games, okay, yeah, he's on, and then no, he hasn't. So, all right,
he's got a track record. I think he'll be fine.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll do the National League. National League MVP.
Was he your yucky catcher? Was he your yuck too?
Well, I actually agreed with you in terms of Bradley Zimmer, but I actually had Kikuchi. But Kikuchi is down in the minors. But I mean, he still was up.
Different blue team.
Yeah.
Wow.
National League MVP. I mean, this one actually, I think it's almost a no-brainer at this point in time. But Paul Goldschmidt, St. Louis. 74 RBI, 333 average, 22 homers. That's kind of what Paul Goldschmidt does. Like, he's always threatening for a triple crown at some point, right? Yeah.
This is the best Paul Goldschmidt I've ever seen. And
yeah.
His defense is right up there too, right?
Yeah, and he's always a Gold Glove. So like that one I think is kind of a no-brainer. And St. Louis is threatening for a playoff spot. I think they'll actually take the Central. No, you know what? So I think Milwaukee will, but I think St. Louis will take a wild card spot. But yeah, so he'll be a playoff team. So I think he'll get it. So
yeah, I agree. Then the Cy Young, Sandy
Alcantara. Yeah, same thing.
Or is it Alcantara?
Yeah, it's
Alcantara.
Alcantara. Yeah, the only 9-4, 176 ERA, 123 strikeouts, 900 WHIP. Like he's one of the reasons why Miami isn't as crap as they should be, kind of thing. But they're actually correction. I like the Marlins. I have a soft spot for them, but they're very good at getting good players and then trading them away, or getting a World Series and then trading everyone away and turning it into garbage again. So it's the Miami way.
I think with Kim Eng running it, I think it's going to be a little bit different now.
Yeah,
I really do. I think the big thing with me for Alcantara is not just the ERA and the walks and strikeouts. He's also leading the league in innings pitched. He's pitched 138 innings.
Yeah, that's crazy
already, which is a lot. Like the next highest is 12 away. That's a whole game plus. Aaron Nola has 126. Yeah. So he's running away with it right now. I don't think it's even close. I mean, I think by the end of the season it might get closer with some of these guys, but right now he is the one. Yeah. And I mean, Miami's got a platform. If there's anybody who's going to trade a pitcher,
it's Miami
during this trade deadline. It's Miami.
Yeah.
And it's not gonna be Alcantara. It's definitely not gonna be him. It'll be probably Pablo Lopez, which is great. I hope we get him.
Yeah.
The NL valuable player.
Well, I was gonna say the NL rookie. There's like 90 guys that are all the same. There is a Luis Gonzalez who is a right fielder and has pitched in 5 games, but like literally when the games are out of hand. But he'll come in and actually shut it down. So. His ERA his ERA is actually 3, but 3 for someone that comes in the midst of like a 17-2 game, But he's not bad, and I mean he's got a 287 average. He's pretty good in the field. But then there's also Michael Harris, center fielder for Atlanta, but he just like there's a lot of this. Like instead of like guys that are here, there's a lot of this, but there's a ton. And me saying this with the baseball talent that I have, but you know what? I'm fat and I'm old and I get to judge, so that's fine. We're good.
No, I think I'm glad Michael Harris is doing good for them because Marcelo Ozuna has really kind of crapped the bed for them as their DH. So they needed somebody else out there. Braves are. Somebody tried to tell me that they thought Austin Riley was the best third baseman in baseball right now, and I'm like, well, he's doing pretty good, but he's not the best. He's not Arenado.
But the funny thing is like when you look at a lot of the good players, are either corners, third or first. So saying, oh, the best third baseman, that's a tough statement to back up because you got to go against guys like.
He's a Braves fan. Everybody thinks their own. Most people think their own guy is the best, and that's just the wrong way of looking at it.
Yeah,
that's what a baseball fans are like. They're not very objective.
Oh no.
I would agree with you. And we didn't mention Rookie of the Year from American League. Julio Rodriguez all day, every day. He's killing it. Least valuable player for the NL, Cesar Hernandez, for he's supposed to be a pretty decent second baseman, and he's just crapped it. But basically, all of my crappy players for all this stuff are all going to be coming from the Nationals. Because I saw Patrick Corbin, who just signed a massive deal and is sucking.
That was my guy. I had him as the least valuable because of his massive contract. And as you were saying, the only way to get Juan Soto is to take on that donkey.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not just you can get Juan Soto, but you'll just have to give up a lot more. If you take on Patrick Corbin's contract, you better be giving up a mid-tier prospect because that's $165 million contract you're trying to take on for a guy who's not pitching. I mean, it'd be interesting for the Jays if we got Corbin and could turn him around, but that's probably not going to happen.
But I mean, it's not like because he has a track record of being pretty good. Like he was good. He was good in Arizona.
Track record of sometimes sucking.
Yeah, but this is also the thing too, right? Barrios had a track record of being good. Kikuchi had a track record of being good, and we're seeing
Barrios is different. Barrios has 7 years of being good.
Yeah,
Kikuchi had an all-star first half and then sucked the second half. Patrick Corbin's kind of been up and down in his career. He's had great seasons and he's also really sucked. He's a very, very strange guy to figure out. So we want to go for our Blue Jays in this respect. My Blue Jay MVP has to be Alejandro Kirk at this point.
Yeah, and if you were to listen to this podcast, if you listen to this podcast maybe 3 episodes ago, it would not have been. But he's definitely put himself in the best position possible to be traded for his maximum value. That's the best way to put it.
That's the thing. I still think, and people keep crapping on me about this, and a lot of people, Jays fans, are really upset that the announcers during the All-Star game kept referring to Alejandro Kirk's body, but not using the word fat. All these other ways of describing him, but not that one particular word.
Yeah.
But we all knew what they were trying to say. And it's like, it is a thing. Like, he's hitting fine. There have been bad body. Somebody said, Babe Ruth had a bad body. It's like, okay, that's completely different.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there was that's the thing. Is there was no such thing as trainers back in that day, and Babe Ruth would actually go out the night before, get wasted, show up, and be hitting the middle ball of the 3 that he sees, and still smack the hell out of it. So
that's it. Alejandro Kirk has a long-term issue with his body. You cannot play with that kind of body until you're 40. You just can't. You can't. He's gonna at some point. It's gonna take hold of him. So and people keep saying trade Moreno instead. People don't understand how bad Moreno actually is. Blue Jays fans do not get it.
Yeah, you're trading away the 4th best prospect in all of baseball right now. No, you're not going to do that.
No. And honestly, I don't think they're going to trade anybody. I don't
think
they're going to trade any of the catchers because Danny Jansen is still hitting up 2 home runs. We'll get to that at some point. But yeah, Kirk, he's been consistent all the way through the year. That's why I put him up there.
Yeah.
Now, Cy Young, Manoah, for sure.
Oh, that's a no-brainer.
It could have been between Gosman. Gosman got hurt, and he had a couple of sketchy outings. Manoah has not had a bad outing.
No, He's lost a couple of games, but the games he's lost, they haven't there hasn't been.
No, it's low score.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't give up more than 3 runs a game ever. He just doesn't.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a reason.
Yeah.
Why he was our lone starting pitcher for the All-Star game. So
yeah.
Least valuable player,
Bradley Zimmer.
I said Bradley Zimmer. I mean, he has value as a defensive replacement, but man, the dude can't hit.
Nope.
Like
and
at all.
Well, that's the thing, is a lot of metrics are based on hitting, because when you come down to it, like it's the whole Mendoza line, right? How bad are you in the field, or how good are you in the field, based on the fact that you're hitting about 200.
The Mendoza line.
Yeah.
He's hitting 109.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's a great outfielder. He's a good base runner when he doesn't get picked off, like he did the other day.
Yeah.
When he just replaced Alejandro Kirk, and then not even the next pitch gets knocked off. He's knocked off first base.
Right. Yeah.
Way to go, Bradley. Way to go, buddy.
Yeah. Sorry, you cut out on that one. I couldn't hear you in that part.
I said the Cy Young is Kikuchi.
That's a definite go-to. Yeah.
Now, I've been arguing with a guy on one of the pages saying that Kikuchi's garbage. He's a lost cause. The word garbage just came out of the guy's mouth, and I'm like, people really need to understand that how much not having spring training affected this specific
pitcher. Yeah.
Because we brought him in here with the intention of revamping his delivery, his pitch selection, and all of that. And he had no time to learn all this stuff and incorporate it. So he was thrown into the fire, constantly trying to make
adjustments in that span. Yeah.
So now that he's out of it and he's in the minors, he had a decent start in the minors recently. You got to keep him down there for a few more. People are like, bring him up now. He's pitching great.
No, give him his confidence back. Give him his confidence back. Let him, find the strike zone and even lose the strike zone against a game that doesn't really matter. And against a team that doesn't really matter.
Confidence. I don't think he's lacking confidence. I think he's lacking conviction, because he's just been trying so many different things. So I think he'll be much better in the second half. He's not a lost cause by any stretch of imagination. So, anyway,
we should probably do another commercial right now. We got a minute. I'll take over the Canadian way in this one, and see if you can fix your mic at that point as well. Hello, kids. Do you realize that the fast fashion industry makes up 10% of the CO2 emissions and pollutes and dries up water sources? 85% of all textiles end up in the dump each year. Do you want to change those stats and look good while you're doing it? Then shop the Canadian Way. Clothing created by the Canadian Way is made from repurposed, recycled, and or biodegradable materials, manufactured in CO2 neutral sites and by workers who are paid a proper wage. All this within the great country of ours, Canada. So if you're tired of contributing to the endless supply of garbage produced by humanity, then shop the Canadian Way. All right. Let's hear you, Jeff.
I don't know if this is going to work.
Hey, there we go. No, don't touch anything. Do not touch anything. You're good. You're good.
I never do. This is what I can't figure out. I never touch anything, and it just goes. So I don't know. Okay, so we'll get into the game.
Yeah,
we can talk about the game. The 28-5 shellacking of the Boston Red Sox. Oh,
and okay. There it goes. So, there goes the audio.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Let's try this.
There it is. There. You're good. Now? You're good. All right. Okay, 28-5.
Now, so
okay, you've now got to hold for 21 minutes you got to hold for.
Great. So they needed 5 innings to break the record of their own record of 24 runs in 1978.
Which is crazy,
right?
Which is crazy when you think about it, because they were an expansion team in '78, and they had 24 runs in a game. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, but here's the thing: Toronto's. Now I'll read this off. This is from our good friend Keegan Matheson, from MLB.com, who I am still trying to get on. He's got a couple days off coming, so he will join us, but he's been busy as heck. This is what he wrote. Toronto's 25 runs through 5 innings tied a record that makes you reach even further back. Forget decades. It's been a full century since the team accomplished that going back to the Chicago Cubs in 1922.
Whew.
No team has scored 25 runs in 5 innings since the 1922 Chicago Cubs.
Yeah. And that was in the non-power hitting era as well. Like that's insane. Yeah.
Now, the other thing is we've got each player had 2 hits, which is crazy. But who's the one player who didn't have an RBI?
Oh, that I don't know. Who?
Alejandro
Kirk.
Did not have an RBI in this crazy ass game. Not sure why, but to me that's crazy. Yeah. And it says to let you know how long ago our run record was. The organization was 2 years old. Greece was about to overtake Jaws 2 at the box office.
Yeah. It was June 6th, 78. Yeah. And
so, yeah.
That's crazy.
So we had 2 guys with 6 RBIs, right? We had, which was, I believe, if I remember correctly, it was Jansen and Tapia. That with that weird inside the park. I know they call it inside the park grand slam. I'm going to call it a Duran slam.
Yeah, because that was a full on error. That guy had no clue where the ball was.
Saw nothing.
Yeah,
he lost. I've never seen a guy lose a ball that badly. It was like literally 30 feet behind him.
Yeah,
but my favorite part was when he turned around and saw Verdugo running forward. He just kind of went, "Meh, not even gonna bother. I suck." Which I thought was really funny. But it was nice to,
Here's
what's really funny. The second inside the park grand slam in team history. The only other one also in Boston in 1989, done by Junior
Felix.
Now, who was one of my faves.
Here's a crazy stat though, right? Like you don't realize how rare an inside the park grand slam is. There has been 224 in the major leagues of all ever. And how many no hitters do you think?
I think there's over 300 no hitters.
It's 317. So it's like and no hitters obviously are rare. But this is actually even more rare. So like this is sort of the golden goose, or the actually no, I don't even know if you call it the golden goose, because I mean you're aiming to do.
In terms of hitting wise,
yeah, you're aiming to do
something you are not going to see.
Yeah, you're aiming to do like every pitcher goes out there and want to do a no hitter. No batter goes, all right, I'm going to do an inside the park grand slam. Like it's the accidental golden goose,
Well, see, Junior Felix is inside the park grand slam. I remember that one specifically.
That was because that was 2 throwing errors on that one, because he actually parked it into the corner and there was a throwing error and a throwing error. So that's a common one. Whereas this one was literally just he was standing right in center field, and they there was a stats cast on it. They said it traveled 387 feet. Or 3. It's like a inside the park grand slam traveled 387 feet at a 37-degree angle, and it's it didn't make it out.
It was funny because they showed the hit chart on and they showed that there's that one hit was like it was straight up in the air, landed by the wall, and that was just
yeah. And that's
Gurriel 6 hits.
Yeah.
Only Frank Conlanado's done it in Jay's history.
Actually, the Cat, I never knew. I never knew that the Cat had a 6-hit game.
2004.
Yeah. I remember when we were all excited about JP Arencibia's like 4-hit breakout in his first game ever. We went 4 for 5 and we're like, yeah, this is going to be awesome.
Get me started on that MAGA moron.
And then
he's dating Tommy Lahren, that guy.
Really?
You know who Tommy Lahren is?
Yes. I did not know that.
She's dumb. He's been dating her for a few years apparently. So all my respect for JP Arencibia as a person is gone.
The one thing I will give him though is, do you remember what was it, like 2008 2008ish or whatever, when everyone said that the Jays were cheating because there was some guy in the outfield that was relaying signs,
the white shirt.
relaying signs back to it, and his response was, "Well, if he is, then it's not working because why do I punch out the most in the league?" And I'm like, "All right, he's got a little bit of a sense of humor about his abilities at the
I
plate."
used to like him.
Yeah.
I liked him for statements like that, but then when you find out he's dating a right wing lunatic, I just lost all respect for him because of who he's. Just like Ricky Schroeder. Oh, Ricky Schroeder, man.
There's a name coming out. Okay, explain the Ricky Schroederness. This I
don't know. No, just go on YouTube and look up Ricky Schroeder
or Rick, by the way.
Employer. Yeah. I call him Ricky
because he's still but he likes to go as Rick now. I do know that, but Ricky Schroeder.
He does, but he's now got a beard and he goes to Costco and. When the mask mandates and all that, I need to get a refund and take my money out of Costco because they're with the government and there's infringing on our freedoms and blah. He's one of those people. Those people.
I'm gonna get the cat sign ready because if you get frustrated, you're gonna go. It's up ready to rock. No, you're good.
I'm good.
All right.
I'm good. He's just a mega moron.
Yeah.
Just like the rest of them. But anyway, so that game was an amazing game. It was great to watch.
Yeah.
Only 6 teams have ever scored more runs than that in the history of baseball.
I know the 4 of the modern day, but there's got to be like a bunch in the back, right?
There's only 6 games total that scored 28 or more runs.
Okay, because there's the Rangers is the record. Rangers over the Orioles in 2007. The Braves over the Marlins 29-9. 29-6 in 2020, and then 1955 Sox over the A's, and that's when they were probably the Kansas City A's at that point in time, or Philadelphia A's, and then the Red Sox versus the Browns in 1950, and then the Jays.
That's it.
So
in modern baseball, it's crazy. I like the one guy did one of the facetious posts in one of the groups saying he's like, they couldn't score 31 runs. Yeah, we should fire the entire team because that's what Blue Jay fans are like.
Yeah,
you mean you couldn't set the record? What? Yeah, stupid.
I guarantee that there's probably like one of my favorite things. Is looking at like old, like pre-turn of the century baseball stats, like from the National League, because you'll get like some games where it's 80-7 or whatever, and those games just don't get included into this because some of them were literally guys that were professional players against like a bartender and a house painter and a whatever, right? So, but like you've got
including Negro League stats. That's good to see.
Yeah, but I mean, like the Newark Peppers, the Newark Peppers from 1915, or we'll say like the Chicago Whales playing at the same time. Like I love some of these old names as well. The Bridegrooms, that's another good. The Louisville Colonels, that's a goodie too. That's a whole nother. The Louisville Colonels, yeah, they were in 1880s. You
mean that like popcorn?
Yeah. No, we're talking like the glorified Southern Colonel. All right, so it's I figure we got
Colonel Sanders who lived in Etobicoke.
We got about 10 minutes left. I figure we can probably pull off prediction because it's halfway through the season. We might as well do prediction for the playoffs for the AL and NL and the wild card teams. What do you figure?
Yeah. Well, first thing we get this coming up first. Let's do who is the most tradable asset on the Blue Jays right now. Who do you think is the most likely to be traded?
The
deadline's in
it's 2 weeks. It's 8 days.
Not even 2 weeks.
It's 8 days because it's August 2nd. Sorry, 9 days because it's 31 in July. It's August 2nd is the trade date.
So who do you think goes?
I mean, I would not be surprised to see Kirk go. Because he is at his maximum value right now, and that'll piss off some of the pissy Jays fans. But if you have to think of like the good of the team, right? Like you had to let some guys go in order to bring in the talent that you want. Because I remember there was people that were angry that we traded Jose Reyes, which at the time I was like, I liked Reyes at the time, but when we got Tulo, you got to give up something to get something. You can't just all of a sudden fleece.
That is the biggest thing. I swear to God.
People don't get
Jay fans think we can get a Cy Young Award winner for a low A prospect.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. They don't want to trade anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I would have said Lourdes earlier in the season, but he's been hitting 400 for the last 40 games. He's now
Yeah.
fifth in the league in batting. Kirk's third.
Yeah.
I don't think either of them get traded.
I
If there's anybody on the major league roster that's going to get traded, there's two people.
You think Biggio?
Cavan's one of them.
And there's a lot of teams that could use like up in the middle infield, and that's one of the things that the Jays have a plethora of in the minors and up is guys that can play middle. So I think Cavan,
Teoscar,
and that's the thing. I think he's also maxed out as well. Like he's about as good as he's ever going to be. You know?
Now the thing with Teoscar is you'd have to make another trade to get another guy. See, basically, what the whole thing is, you want to replace one of these right-handed outfielders with a left-handed outfielder who can also play center field.
Hey, there's Joey Gallo available.
Yeah. Nope. Here's who I want. Yeah, that is very ominous.
it's the Star Wars fight theme. That's my phone. Yeah. Continue. Ian Happ. You've said this before.
Yeah, we're not going to get Benintendi, even though apparently we're still interested in Benintendi.
I don't get that.
But apparently all the AL East, apparently the Yankees are serious about him. I don't know why, but whatever.
But it makes no sense.
What I would be aiming for is getting Ian Happ and David Robertson in a package from the Cubs. I would give them Teo because he's got another year. I would give them a decent middle infield prospect. I would give them. I mean, I'd like to give them Lopez, but I think it would have to be like an Elvis or a Groshon.
Yeah, I could see that.
But I mean, that would help us get the left-handed bat we need and a guy in the bullpen. And the Zulueta guy, I think he's going to be coming up because he's a power arm. And we're seeing some of our power arms doing all right in the minors that could come up to be the strikeout guy, hopefully.
Yeah.
So that's what I think Teoscar is the most likely to get traded because we need an outfielder like Ian Happ who can play center because Springer's elbow is a problem. And also, we hopefully maybe can get Josh Bell because I do wholeheartedly believe that there is a bigger problem with Vladdy's wrist than
we think. Okay.
Cavan has played a lot of first.
Yeah.
Like Vladdy's been DHing a lot.
But that's actually one thing that there is a plethora of in the American League. There's a lot of first basemen that are sort of up for grabs at this point in time.
I would take Josh Bell from the Washington Nationals in a heartbeat. Yeah. That's my guy. He's a switch hitter with power. He's having his best season ever. That's who I would grab. So
if you're a Pissy Jays fan, why don't you trade for Paul Goldschmidt?
Yeah, Pissy Jays fan.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So here's a
second half.
Yeah. Second half. Okay. So if your prediction for who's going to win the AL East, it's going to be the Yankees. It's going to be the Yankees. That's not.
I mean, the only way the Yankees don't is if everybody gets
hurt. Yeah. AL Central. I'm going Cleveland.
I was actually going to say Cleveland, although I think Chicago has a chance.
Well, this is the thing.
Their pitching's come around.
Yeah. Any one of those three, like the Chicago, Minnesota, or Cleveland, they're all like within a couple of each other.
I don't see Minnesota keeping it up.
You don't think they can? I don't either.
I don't think they have the pitching to keep it up.
I don't either, but they do have a way. But Chicago's pretty good, and
I think Chicago was the preseason pick in the first place.
Yeah, Chicago,
and they had a bunch of guys hurt, but Dylan Cease is pitching amazing. Like their rotations doing well. Lance Lynn is on his way back.
Yeah, Chicago was like not as ranked as high as the Jays, but they were the fourth rated team in the American League. Like that's insane. Yeah.
They've got the hitting. It's just the pitching had to come around, and now they're getting their guys back. So, and in the West
Astros. That's the Astros.
I know Seattle went on a bajillion game winning streak, but Seattle ain't doing shit.
But I actually think that Seattle might hold on and get like the last wild card spot because it's three spots now, right? You know, the other two are going to come from the American League East. It's going to be Toronto and Tampa.
I think all three of them are going to come.
Because I think Boston's going to falter, and I think Seattle will overtake them.
That's possible. They're saying that if Boston loses this game, like against the Jays, if we get swept on the Sunday game,
Oh, they're gonna spend as much money as possible. Yeah.
no, they'll be sellers. They're going to sell like
Oh,
mad.
you think?
That's what that's what the Boston people are saying. They're like, because in the last 3 games, they've been outscored. What was it 55-6?
Mhm.
Like
And you
55 runs in 3 games.
you think Duran's on the
You
market?
had your ace on the mound.
Yeah, Nathan
You know what I
Eovaldi,
mean?
ace.
So, and now Sale is gone again. Poor
Yeah.
guy. First inning comes back, gets a broken pinky finger. Like,
Well,
Jesus.
this is the thing. Is like I'm not a big fan of Chris Sale. Like he's kind of a douche.
He's
When
a douche, but he's a douche who can pitch.
he's a douche, he can pitch. But like when he cut off all the cut up all the play like all the sleeves off the the White Sox throwback jerseys and cut the necks because he's like he didn't like it, so he did it to every single jersey. So they had to go
Oh, I didn't
back.
hear about that.
Oh yeah,
No.
he knew that he was pitching that day, and they were going to be using the throwback like the solid black ones, and he didn't like it,
Yeah.
so he went and took scissors and ripped every single one of the everyone's jerseys. So they had to change the thing. I'm like, that's a douchey move. Yeah,
That is a douchey move. Why would you
Yeah.
want to?
I know. All right, and National League East. This is a 2-horse race, really. I'm taking Atlanta in that one because it's like it could go either way.
It could. I mean, like I'm leaning Mets because I think they're going to do more of the trade deadline to help themselves than Atlanta will.
Yeah.
I think they're going to land a starting pitcher for sure.
Mhm.
They can hit, they can field. So I don't know. The Braves. I mean, it's going to be a neck and neck thing for sure. But
Yeah.
I just think like Ian Anderson's not having the best season, which really kind of hurts their pitching a lot.
And
Their bullpen's been pretty good, but I mean, there's a lot of injury just waiting to happen on that bullpen.
Yeah, with that being said, whatever team wins, the other team makes a wild card. Like that's how it's going to be. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. The Central, I think Milwaukee will win the Central.
Yeah, and St. Louis will come in a close second and take another wild card spot. The West, it's the Dodgers. It's the Dodgers. I think they're going to roll away with it and it'll actually be a proper sort of winner and wild card. You're going to get a wild card and a winner from each division because I think San Diego is going to pull in that third wild card spot.
I think San Diego is apparently the most interested in Soto.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They have the pieces to do it and not decimate their team. doing it.
No, because they've got a pretty stacked squad.
Yeah, they've got the minor leaguers to do it.
But that was my little caveat. I think the Dodgers are going to win the West, but I actually think San Diego will go further than the Dodgers, like in the playoffs.
It depends on if the Dodgers get any more starting pitching because they've lost Walker Buehler.
Mm-hmm.
Clayton Kershaw is just an injury waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Gonsolin has to have you got to monitor his. He's never really pitched 200 innings before. Like May is out. There's a lot of questions in their rotation.
And this is the trick though, right? Like once you make the playoffs, you don't need a 5-man rotation. You need 3.
No,
you need 3. That's about it. They got to get them. Yeah, and that's actually why I think if when the Jays make the playoffs, we'll actually be good because we can throw a solid 3 at people.
Yeah. Our problem. We just need the hardcore bullpen guys. That's what we need. We just need them.
Yeah.
Third commercial.
We've got a minute and a half left of the whole show.
Oh darn it!
Yeah,
we lost the commercial.
Yeah,
we lost the pandering commercial.
Yeah,
I'll pander at the end.
That's all right. Well, okay. So this week coming up, we've got we're at home. We've got 2 against St. Louis, who we haven't seen here for like over a decade, and the Tigers for 4 here as well. So I don't know. I see us going 4-2. Because we could split the series with St. Louis, but we're going to take 3 against 4 of the Tigers because we'll lose one because we do.
Yeah, we'll lose. Whatever start Screwball's pitching, we'll lose that one.
Yeah,
because Eric Screwball's been pretty good throughout the season. I gotta say, like he's a lot better than I thought he would be. So
yeah.
But as we've always told you guys before, you want to hear us first, 365sportscast.com. After that, you can catch us on Spotify, iHeart, Apple,
Samsung, Audacity. Yeah, like we're all of them.
Podcasts, we will be there. If you want to watch the podcast, you have to go to YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And
All
it's
right.
hilarious. You get to see me narc out and all kinds of graphics and stuff that you can't see on the audio. So that's what I'm saying.
All right, we're gonna have to peace out, guys. Cheers.
Yep. There's one thing